Hello, thank you for clicking on my video. In this video, this is rather than me just uploading stuff because lols. I made this channel to upload things I can reflect on. I think this is one of those things. This is why you need to This is why you need to save your sweepers until the end of a Pokemon battle. A lot of times in Pokemon they tell you type advantage is the most important thing, because it is. It's where you get the most change in damage numbers. Sorry, taking a drink. It's where you get the biggest change in damage numbers. Double damage is way more than normal damage, and half damage is way less than normal damage. It's some craziness, man. But sweepers, usually, now there's rare cases like Wigglytuff, Exeggutor, let's see. Bulky sweepers is basically what I'm saying. They do exist. Garchomp is one of them. I don't play OU, I just know he has a decent chunk of defenses. Bulky sweepers generally are the ones you can switch in. But how do you use not bulky sweepers? Generally a sweeper is faster than the rest of the team, or something like that. In PU, that Electrode is really what I'm thinking of. Generally, sweepers can be choiced or Life Orb, because you want them to be attacking at the end of the game. So it doesn't even matter if they take damage or not. And in this gameplay, I want you to watch. There is one Pokemon I don't use all game until the very, very end, and for a good reason. So I'm in the left corner. Fish CF91 is in the right. I know the sticky web's coming. I can't really do anything to prevent that, so I'm just going to Rock Slide it. Figured it would be sashed anyways. He goes for the Sucker Punch, which is lame, as I'm going to KO it with an Aqua Jet. So now he goes into his Rampardos. I know I'm weak to a rock move, so I'm going to go into my ground type. He predicts that, goes to the ground move for Golem. I'm going to speed this up, this is painfully slow. And he's just going to kill me with an Earthquake. So Golem did nothing except get 20% damage on this guy. I'm fearing that he might outspeed me. I know nothing on his team wants to take a Waterfall. Luxray takes that fairly well. So now I'll go into Vigoroth, which is my next best tank. As he's going to go into this kid. I'm predicting either the Head Smash or the Stealth Rock. He goes to the Stealth Rock, so I'm going to Encore him into that. And notice, this is just a bunch of tanky people supporting. They're eventually just going to wear it down. And then the actual supporting people are going to destroy the team. Misdreavus comes in. I'm predicting a Shadow Ball or Calm Mind because he's probably going to predict a switch, so I go for the Encore, but then he just brings in this guy. He kills me. I figured I would have killed, but I don't. So now I gotta bring in Almaldo for the cleanup because I really don't want Vigoroth to take a superpower. So now he goes in Floatzel. I'm just gonna let this guy die. Hey, he killed 2 people. Back into Vigoroth. I have a lot of entry hazards on my team. I guess Defog is really useful, but there aren't that very many good Defog users from PU, Butterfree, and Brava, to name a few. I'm really questioning what this guy can do to me. I go ahead and Encore into Will-O-Wisp, which is just fine with me, as I can go ahead and go for a substitute. No, I swap into Floatzel. I generally, sweepers, you want to give them moves like this. Switcheroo, that was extremely good. Fortunately, not really a sweeper anymore now that I'm super slow, but hey. Because if they're choiced, you can do stuff like that, or you can give them stuff like Volt Switch and U-Turn. That's also really good. Because that means they come in and they don't actually take any damage, but they still deal damage. You want stuff like that. I know I can live a Shadow Ball, so I go ahead and KO this guy with some Waterfalls. I'm going to save this guy because, again, he's a sweeper and I'm predicting the Shadow Ball to come. He's predicting the switch, goes to the Dazzling Gleam. After seeing that damage, I know there's nothing he can do to me at all, and I can PP stall him. And for the next 20 or so turns, it's basically just Vigoroth stalling the enemy again because this guy is amazing. So now he's gonna go into this guy. This guy is choice banded, which I think he forgot, because I believe he goes for the... he goes for the substitute here, probably trying to make me switch. He's just probably to play some mind games. Quickly realize there's nothing to do. I reveal my attacking move, Body Slam. Not sure if I had already done that yet. I get a paralysis. Paralyzed is actually pretty lucky. I don't want to switch while I still have a sub up, because it'd be a waste of a sub, so I'm just waiting for him to kill me, but hey. As long as he isn't, no big deal. In a perfect world, I'd like max HP, that's not going to be the case. So this is probably my best guy with this Rampartus to attack. I can generally do okay. I'm waiting for a paralysis to happen. Luckily it does right there. I would have just kept slacking off until he got it. But if he didn't get it, he would eventually kill me. So now I've got a substitute. He brings in this Blitzel. Unfortunately, let's see, this is going to be a 2-hit KO from this Blitzel. Unfortunately, I get the flinch. It's just like, oh well. So now I go into Grumpig. This is a sweeper. His whistle's the same as mine. Choice band and everything, like I saw that throughout the match. So I'm gonna go ahead and Thunder Wave it. That's what you want to be doing, sweepers. Psychic almost kills it, and then I'm gonna go for another Psychic. Since he's choice banded, he's gonna have to swap and go into Regigigas. Curious what this Regigigas can do to me. Since it's choice banded, I can just start setting up Calm Minds, which makes Grumpig OP. I just wish I had reliable cover. I guess with the choice banded Confuse Ray, as I predict a switch, so I'm gonna go for some Psychics. I hit myself the first time, but I end up getting it the next time at the expense of a lot of my HP. I know this guy's gonna outspeed me, and check it out. Now I bring out Zebstrika, turn 45, haven't done this all game. I can outspeed, go for a Thunderbolt. Missed the Will-O-Wisp, not a big deal, he probably should have gone for the Shadow Ball. But that probably wouldn't have killed me anyways, because it's a Misdreavus. And Thunderbolt's going to sweep the rest of his team. It's going to be a 2-hit KO on the Regigigas. Fuse rate doesn't matter. If I hit myself, oh well. And see what I did there? 2 people I have left alive are my heavy damage, high speed people. That's what you want to do. You want to have your tanks... what his strategy, you want to have your tanks wear down the enemy, and his strategy of having Stealth Rocks and Sticky Web is very good. If you want to have your playstyle like that, you definitely want entry hazards. I had entry hazards on Golem, unfortunately I never got them up. You want entry hazards, because if the opponent keeps switching, then check it out, you are getting a bunch of free damage on them. Like, he got so much free damage on Vigoroth and Floatzel and all that through Stealth Rocks. Like, Armaldo took 25% HP because it's a bug type. It's some craziness. But this is basically like a PSA. Why? Let's say I knew Zebstrika could kill Floatzel earlier, so why didn't I bring it out? Well, it probably would have gotten outsped to Floatzel. I didn't want to bring it in on any switches because it would have taken a lot of damage, and he probably had a special wall for Zebstrika. So I'd rather go into a tank and let that slowly chip it away instead, because Floatzel can't do as well to a tank as it can against my Zebstrika. Anyways, moral of the story, save the best for last. Bye!